Hi everyone, my name is Sara Benetti. I'm the head of School of Geography and Environmental Science. And today I just wanted to let you know a bit more about our programs that we offer in the school. We have undergraduate programs in Geography, Environmental Science and Marine Science. So today we will discuss a little bit why maybe you should study with us. And we'll go through what you will learn, how you will be taught, how we can support you, what our students think about the programs, and also some of the future careers they moved into. So our degrees, we have the 3 degrees I mentioned earlier. BSc Honours in Geography, BSc Honours in Environmental Science, and BSc Honours in Marine Science. All the 3 programs have the option of undertaking an industrial placement or a study abroad placement, and we'll talk a bit more about those later. And for Geography and Environmental Science, you also have the option of studying them as combined subject, so with psychology or education, which means that you'll do a mix of modules in one discipline and the other. And our geography program also offers a good balance between physical and human subjects, and it's accredited by the Royal Geographic Society. Similarly, environmental science is accredited by the Institute of Environmental Science, which means that you have additional access to trainings and certificates and so on, which you know more during your program. So really, our students like to study with us because we are in a fabulous location. We're really minutes away from natural laboratories, including the sea, the estuary, rivers, lakes, woodlands, uplands, which means that our students spend a lot of time on fieldwork and field courses, which are really central to what we do. And it also gives you the option to actually practice some skills out in the field. You also get a very personalized experience. So you have a given advisor of studies, whom you will get to know quite well. You'll do some small group teaching. There's specific career sessions throughout your degree that are built into the timetable. And in your final year, you carry out your own independent research projects with the support of a personal dissertation supervisor. Really, the campus in Coleraine is a lovely place to study, includes modern teaching facility, there's a theatre, there's a new sports complex, and it's a great opportunity if you like the outdoors, water sports, lots of hiking around here, or the coastline is beautiful. And it's located close to the towns of Portstewart and Portfresh, where you get some nightlife and restaurants and pubs and all these things. So just to have a look at our school at a quick glance, we are actually ranked 3rd in the UK and 1st in Northern Ireland for student satisfaction out of 70 universities in the UK for geography and environmental science. We have achieved 100% overall student satisfaction over 7 consecutive years, which means that across our programs over the years, students were always 100% overwhelmingly positive about their experience with us. All of our students are offered the option to study abroad or to do an industrial placement. And all of our students really develop highly sought after employable skills in GIS and remote sensing. About 92% of our graduates are in employment or further study within 6 months of graduating, and about 81% of our students graduate with a first or a 2-1. So we're really one of the best UK universities for studying geography and environmental studies, both for teaching and actually for research. So all of our staff are research active, which for you means that you'll get to study things that are really up to date, are really topical, are really focused on the key challenges that the world faces today. Climate change, sea level rise, deforestation, all these big issues that are really relevant. And also all of our research is aligned with the UN Sustainable Goals, and that is also weaved or comes across your degree, which means that we are looking forward to help you making the earth a better place for everyone to live in. All of our teaching is around actually active learning. So you are the protagonist of your experience, which means that you really get to practice things in the lab, in the computer lab. You use a mix of qualitative and quantitative techniques, and you do a range of different things. You can do group work, you can do presentations, lab reports, different types of tests. And all of this gets you to really practice all of those skills that then you need as you move forward into employment. So our degrees are designed to give you the skills and experiences that you need to start your career. And they're structured in a progression, which means that in year one, you study really the fundamentals of the discipline that you've picked. In year two, you look at the processes and skills. So processes in terms of what you're studying and skills in terms of really developing your studies. You have then the option to take your industrial placement or study abroad in third year, or to move straight into final year. So if you're taking an additional placement year, your degree is going to be 4 years in total. If you decide not to take the placement, it's going to be 3 years in total. But really what you do in final year, you bring together all the knowledge that you have grown and you have developed over the previous years. And that final year includes more optional modules and also the dissertation project. So each year you will take 6 modules in which you will increase slowly the amount of options that you can take in each discipline each year. And typically you have about 15 contact hours per week, which means that you'll be on campus not every day all the time, but you'll come in every week for 3 modules, which is traditionally like 2 hours lectures. Either sometimes they're separate or sometimes we're in one go, and then a practical class, which is between 3 and 4 hours long. On top of these contact hours, you are expected to do some kind of independent learning for about 25 hours per week, or blended learning, which means that the material is available for you as well to deepen your knowledge. Typically, the assessment is 15% by exam and 85% by continuous assessment, so coursework and so on. Your final degree classification is given by a 30% contribution for your second year and the 3% for your final year modules. As I mentioned, you really will be taught a lot in the field through, even from the first week in semester 1 of year 1, you'll be going out on field trips. You do lots of different practical and lab experience from the actual labs in the university to using new technologies like drones, to being out on the boat and collecting samples. And then all of our programs have national and international field trips. So our students can go as far away as Cyprus or sometimes Africa. Environmental science students traditionally go to Portugal. Marine science students normally work around Ireland, and they really get to experience marine research. Our school has really quite a few strengths, and one of the key things is really that community of practice, which means the students coming together for other things as well, including the Geography and Environmental Science Society, the Surf Club, and so on, but also students and staff coming together. We have a really research-led teaching, which is this very strong emphasis on new learning practical skills that you can use in your future work. You will get the chance as well during your studies to talk about employment opportunities, to have the option for the industrial placement. And really, we have an open door policy and supportive staff. So you can always come to us if you've got queries, if you want to discuss anything, if you're looking at your options and so on. Plus, if you're local to Northern Ireland, by starting with us, you also save about £20,000 just over fees over 4 years. As I mentioned, the option to take a work placement here is a really great option, and it's open to all of our students. You're more likely to achieve a higher final degree classification if you take a work placement. That's something that we've seen over the years. You're more likely to be in full-time professional employment within 6 months of graduating, and through your work placement, you build your own professional network. If you undertake the work placement, you will get an additional diploma on top of your graduate diploma. And that's called the Diploma in Professional Practice. You see here just some of the employers that our students would have been placed with in the past. They go from the local government agencies to private companies, other organizations in the Republic of Ireland, and sometimes even farther away. So we had students going on placement in Norway and Tenerife. So there's lots of opportunities there. And there's also the opportunity for you to look into different options. We now have students next year who are going to a combined work placement. Half time of the placement is going to be in Chile and half time is going to be in French Polynesia. So lots of different options for you. And if you prefer to study abroad instead of just having a work placement, you can go to one of our partner universities across the world and really study for 1 year in a different university as if it was your own. Again, you will have an additional diploma on graduation, but the key thing about the study placement is really the option to have new experiences, develop new friends and new networks. So here you see a spread out of where our students would have been in the past and where they can still go. So because this is an additional year, you're also able to pick subjects that you're really interested in that can fall outside your normal programs. So we had students study more social sciences, study more marine biology, for example, in Australia, history in the Czech Republic. So lots of different things that can add to your overall studies. Through students working on this work placements or doing their own dissertation projects, they actually get to develop industry and research links. And actually quite a few of our students have ended up publishing some of the work they've done during the work placement and during the dissertation. So this is really applied research that is helpful as you move forward into any kind of employer further opportunity after your degree. In addition to this, to help you build your confidence in moving forward onto a job, as part of the modules that you'll be doing, you will develop your CV, you will practice your interviewing skills. We also share all the job opportunities that we are aware of in a blog. So you'll be able to actually look at the blog and see what kind of options are available for you as you move forward in your career. And we also run an employees fair once a year when you get to meet some of the potential employers and ask them what they're after, and also they'll be able to tell you the kind of skills they're interested in, and also an employers forum, which means that we get to know from the employers which skills they would like to see developed in our students, and we can work on those. In addition to the long year placement, you also have the opportunity of doing additional short placement and experiences. So for example, our students in May of this year have looked at how to run ecological surveys in the countryside. Finally, you also have the opportunity to continue in your postgraduate studies with us through a series of MSc programs. In the topics of geographic information system, environmental management, remote sensing, and toxicology or pollution monitoring. And you can ask us if you're interested a bit more about this as well. So these are just some of our students, Matthew, Rebecca, and Ursula. They studied geography, marine science, and environmental science. And really here they tell us a bit about what they did and where they moved on. So Matthew became a heritage scientist and 3D laser surveyor, which means that he can create 3D images of different buildings and different structures. Rebecca did a placement year in Tenerife with the Atlantic Wave Foundation. So she really got to know quite a lot about surveying marine mammals, and she's now working as a coastal process scientist. Ursula managed to avail of some of the university opportunities for our graduates. Not only she gained experience during her undergraduates in GIS and remote sensing, but she also managed to then use the skills in different graduate opportunities, and she has become an analyst for the Lottie Academy. So this, again, is a spread of some of our past graduates, and it gives you really an idea for the range and flavor of jobs that you can end up doing if you study with us. These are just some examples, but we go from scientists that works for government agencies like DERA or AFBI to people that are now doing high-level research in different universities across the globe, ecologists, mapping and charting officers, geography teachers, geospatial specialists, hydrographic surveyors that work in the offshore industry, and so on. So it's really, really a broad range of jobs that you can end up doing if you study one of our degrees. Our entry requirements are specified on the admissions website of the university, but also please do not be discouraged in case you don't meet the entry requirements, because there's a possibility of doing an additional short course in late August, early September, which is going to help you develop an understanding of the discipline and some of the skills that you might be needed. And if you undertake this bridging module and you pass it, then you'll be able to access our programs as well. So just to give you an idea of our different programs, for each one of them, we have a table that tells you a little bit more about what will you learn. So for example, for geography, you learn more about GIS and remote sensing skills. You will be able to plan, implement, analyze, and report data safely and ethically. You learn about different techniques that you can use in the right context. This program is accredited by the Royal Geographic Society, which basically has assessed the quality of what we teach and how it fits into the discipline of geography with regard to what the requirements are, which really means that you get to study some of the big challenges and issues that affect us all, including climate change, environmental hazards, conflict, social inequality, and sustainable development. Environmental science. Within environmental science, you will learn about the different environments, terrestrial, freshwater, marine environments. You will learn about sustainability, environmental processes and systems, about data analysis, about basically the world we live in and how we can support that world and support our lives in them. So really you will study global issues such as conservation, climate change, regional development, water and air pollution. And again, all of our programs relies on lectures and tutorials, practical classes, case studies, research projects. So you really get to do a mix of lots of different things so that you're not just sitting in a lecture theatre listening at one of us talking. Marine science is really something that you might get into if you're passionate about the health of the oceans and life in the sea, but it covers a broad range of disciplines. It's not just about biology, it's also about the general hydrosphere, marine systems, about sustainability, marine geology, offshore renewable energy, like offshore wind energy is a big thing in Ireland at the moment, archaeology. And you really get the chance to do some placement opportunities as part of marine science in some of the key organizations looking at the marine environment on the island of Ireland and UK. And really, the Coleraine campus is so better placed to look at all of these environments, you know, from marine environments. Obviously, we're so close to the coastline, to all of the environmental systems, and also it offers such a great opportunity of studying geography and different aspects of both human and physical geography. As I mentioned, you do have the option of study combined programs, including minors in education and psychology for both environmental science and geography. Students that I might be interested in teaching could undertake environmental science or geography education to see if they want to get a flavor for some of the kind of education modules and what they look like during their undergraduate degree. And most of those students then end up studying for a PGCE in education. Some of our students are interested in the combination with psychology, which will involve some training in scientific methods of inquiry and how psychology can be applied to professional practice. So again, it gives a slightly different flavor. But these combined programs means that you will not undertaking all of the modules with us, but with different schools, either psychology or education. So really, our courses are continually reviewed, basically to see to incorporate new teaching approaches and developments in research, industry, and in the profession. So the modules as well might change over the years from now to the end of your program if you come and study with us. And really, the modules might also change depending on staff availability, timetabling, and student demand. But really, if there was to be any change between now and when you start, that will always be discussed with you. So if you get closer to the time when you want to join us and you want to make sure which modules are offered, you can always contact us and find out more about it. As I said, the entry requirements are published on the website. You can have more information on the admissions website and using the generic email address for admissions@ulster.se.uk. So have a look at UCAS now, the UCAS website, and apply now for our programs if you're interested, but you still get the choice to come and visit us on campus and talk to our staff, see some of our equipment that we use, see the labs. So you still have lots of opportunities to come and experience and find out more about our programs before you make your final decision.